की
Yeah, Mubin bhai.
जी
So, Assalamu alaikum everybody.
वालेकुम सलाम रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू।
Welcome to this today's episode about mindset. And as you know, in these difficult times, everybody has got to be trained well in the well-being of the mind. And today we have a very, very decorated person who's a speaker today, who is going to show us how to train your mind in well-being. Mrs. Rashida Ansari. Rashida is a Rotarian of ours. She's from the Rotary Club of Horizon. She is a charter member of Rotary Club of Horizon, a trustee of the Rotary Club. That itself is a very big qualification for her. She is by qualification an engineer. She has done her courses in MetaMind training. She has been a teacher in GPP, COEP, and such prestigious institutes. And friends, let me tell you that being a teacher in these institutes, it's a big challenge because these institutes have some very intelligent and some very naughty students like me, because I was also part of GPP and COEP. So I really appreciate you being a teacher there. I know how much trouble we gave our teachers, but we are, whatever we are today, we are because of our teachers. So today she is going to train us in 10 beautiful mindset of emotional well-being. And as she speaks, the introduction will surely come off. So let me get on and pass on the mantle to Rashida. And today we start with the mindset कि नजर बदला तो नजारे बदले, बदला दो रुख कश्ती का तो किनारे बदले.
वाह वाह सुभान अल्लाह सुभान अल्लाह।
So over to Rashida ma'am. Madam, you can start. There seems to be a network issue. I think we have lost her. So let her join. Yeah, there she is again. Some network issue at your end, Rashida? Please
It
start.
looks like, sir, twice I have been.
When you make me the host, you are disconnecting.
Maybe when you're making me the host, I'm getting disconnected.
Okay. Let me try again. No, that is not an issue. You can start now. Chalo, Bismillah.
Okay, sir. Alhamdulillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, sir, for your kind words. It was indeed very gracious of you. And let me just share this one experience of teaching at GPP and COEP. Sir, I have never found the students as troublemakers, because one principle in class which always worked is that if you talk sense, people listen.
Yeah. You're lucky we left the thing before you became a teacher. Okay, go on, please.
Alhamdulillah, sir. And today I would like to share with you, as the title of the webinar says, 10 beautiful mindsets for emotional well-being. My dear participants, Assalamu alaikum. I welcome you all to this webinar. And before we dive into the webinar, please note, we need to understand a few things. A couple of rules. The first rule being that there are no rules. So please feel free to express your mind.
Seems to be a network issue at your end. Anish bhai, can you see the video or is it just us? Video दिख रहा है अनिश भाई? नहीं. कुछ प्रॉब्लम है उनके एंड। हालांकि वो है मीटिंग में फोन करके बोलता हूँ। Haji? Yeah, she's back. There is some network issue at your end.
No, I have changed the network, so hopefully
Okay,
now
okay.
this should work better.
Inshallah, go ahead.
Inshallah. And one request, everyone, please have some pen and paper handy. You may feel the need to write a few things. I'll give you 2 minutes for that. Thank you. So as the name suggests, let us begin with understanding of what emotionally well-being means. I'll ask you a few questions and please write down your answers. Am I able to recognize my emotional states? How does it affect me and the people around me? Am I able to maintain a balance between work, family, and my other obligations? Third, do I have ways to reduce stress in my life? Fourth, am I able to make decisions with minimum stress and worry? And last, am I able to set priorities? Well, anyone has got all yes? In case you have, please share in the chat box, because that means you are very high on the level of emotional well-being. Let us see the other extreme. You know, most of us would have a yes, maybe, sometimes. So which is quite normal and natural. We are at different stages of emotional well-being. Now we will see the least or the diminished level of emotional well-being. Generally, this kind of person has very low self-esteem, is generally a pessimist. And you will find that this person tends to worry either about the future or keeps thinking about the past. So that is an indication of low emotional well-being. Another physical indication is person generally tends to have stomach disorders or lack of sound sleep, you know, disturbed sleep, lack of low energy levels during the day. All these are signs of diminished emotional well-being. I'm sure all of us are at different stages. The diminished would be, say, here, and what we want to achieve is here. So it is a question of traversing the journey from point A to point B. We may all be at different points in the journey. It does not matter. What matters is to take that step and move on. For that, we need to understand the second thing that the statement talks about is mindset. So what do we mean by mindset? Mindset is a set of beliefs which each one of us has. And we make use of these beliefs to make sense of any situation that is happening outside. We have an internal dialogue with ourselves to make sense of that situation. Now, this set of beliefs has been built up over a period of time. We pick up certain values and beliefs from our family, from the school that we attend, our friends that we associate with, and there are different ways. So these become a set of firm beliefs that stay with us, and that is how the same situation may be perceived by one person as very light, the other may feel very intensely about it. The reason being the set of belief that each one has. And how do we understand this? Supposing I have a battery here And every time I get happy, this battery gets charged a little. In the same way, every time I feel sad, the battery depletes in power. And it does not matter which way you work. The idea of emotional well-being is to have this battery fully charged at all points in time. Easier said than done. Now, imagine if you are happy. When you are happy, automatically the thoughts that come to your mind are positive and progressive. As against that, when you are sad, you generally tend to listen to K.N. Sehgal, and then you go deeper into sadness, and again it becomes a vicious circle. So the trick here is to be able to control whatever your state of emotion is, that needs to be controlled, and that can be controlled by your mind. How? Let me tell you. You know, we've all flown kites at some point in time. At least if you've not flown kites yourself, you've seen others fly kites. And how does the kite go up in the sky? There is that thread which we call as the manja. And when you let go of the manja, यानी हम जब ढील देते हैं मांझे को, तो पतंग आसमान में उड़ती है. Now, हवा पे डिपेंड करती है कि वो पतंग किस रुख, क्या रुख लेती है, किस तरफ जाती है. और जब हम पतंग को नीचे उतारना चाहे तो हम मांझे को हपसते हैं, और we gather the thread to bring the kite down. Exactly in the same way, our mind wavers. You know, the thoughts, they go in any direction, and accordingly our feelings tend to waver. If the thoughts are positive and pleasant, the state of emotion is positive and happy. If the thoughts are negative, then the emotion is sad. So if I want to control this, what I need to do is to use the manja. And what is the manja here? It is your breath. Let me give you another example. If you go to a hospital and the doctor says, please take Mr. or Miss so-and-so into the operation theater. If all things go well, fine, Alhamdulillah. And if it doesn't, the doctor says, please take the body out. That means the difference between life and death is our breath. And this breath, if we can control on, then we can switch our emotion from sadness to happiness, or at least we can try to gain control. And now when we embark on this journey of well-being, there are few ground rules, as I may say, that we need to keep in our mind. First is to create an awareness of your thoughts and your feelings. How? We will go into it shortly. But so many times, anger just comes upon us and we are not even aware. Kis baat se mujhe gussa aata hai? I think I remember some film. Pinto ko gussa kyun aata hai, or
Albert
something like
Pinto
that.
ko gussa kyun aata hai?
Albert Pinto ko gussa. So these are the triggers that happen. How do these triggers affect us? To develop an awareness of this, that will be the first step. The second step is to develop a positive attitude and recognizing your inner strength. So each of us has got certain strengths, only we may not be aware of it. So it is very necessary, just as to aware the triggers of our thoughts and feelings, you need awareness and positive attitude towards your strength. Third, seeking support and being able to express your emotions in a suitable manner. We are very hesitant. We feel we are self-sufficient. Hame kisi ki zarurat nahi. But it is not so. You need people around you, your near and your dear ones, who understand you, to be able to help you in this emotional journey. The fourth is setting your priorities. Sometimes we need to control our emotions. Certain things need to get done. Emotions have to take a back seat, and you have to look at the goal that needs to be achieved and focus on achieving it and how to achieve. The emotions can be dealt separately. And the last but not least, which we find most difficult, is accepting our mistakes and learning from them. We have a natural human tendency to develop a defense mechanism to protect ourselves. नहीं, ये मैंने तो किया ही नहीं, ये मुझसे हो ही नहीं सकता, मैं तो गलत हो ही नहीं सकती या हो ही नहीं सकता. It is a mindset. What we need to do is to introspect, accept our mistakes and learn from them. The moment you learn to take ownership of your mistakes, you will have embarked on the journey of well-being. Now, with these 5 steps, what comes is the breath. As I told you, the main thing to control between the mind and the emotions is the breath. So we come to breathing techniques. You must have heard of pranayam. Maybe some of you are already doing it on a regular basis. Pranayam is very, very important. It teaches you different breathing techniques. And once you learn to use these techniques, you can get a lot of control both on your mind and your body. Dealing with pranayam would be a separate webinar by itself. So I will not go into details, but I will just take a couple of techniques so that you get a small feeling of what it is like. The first that I would like to share with you. Yes. So I hope you can see my screen now. Great. So we have seen the quiz for emotional wellness. You have answered the questions. We'll look at the breathing techniques. We have seen the connection between the body, mind, and the breath. The first type of pranayam that we are going to do is the Bhastrika pranayam. Let me explain to you the technique first. It's a very simple technique. What you need to do is, for breathing techniques, it's important that you keep your spine erect. So sit in a comfortable position and try to keep your spine erect. Your hands will be at your shoulder level in this manner. And the focus here is on the breathing. What you have to do is inhale deeply. And as you inhale, you will raise your hands. I will demonstrate first and then you will repeat. So when you inhale deeply, you will do this action. Your hands will go up straight. And then you will exhale deeply. So that will be this action. So it is exactly similar to the way you blow your nose to clean it. That will be the exhale. So first you have to get the technique right. I will demonstrate it again. Inhale, exhale. And this you have to do in a rhythmic manner. Once you get the technique right, you have to focus on the speed. So it will be inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And you will do it forcefully. I hope everybody has got this. You may find that this thing is weird and some of you may be a little reluctant. But let me tell you one thing, that no pain, no gain. So just move out of your comfort zone today and just go with the flow. Do it. And I assure you that at the end of it, you will feel better and more in control of your emotions than you are before. Okay. So one more word of caution, that this technique, I request those with high blood pressure or heart problems to take it easy and at your own pace. Others, we will at least do 10 to 15 counts, so you will get a feel of the technique. Those with medical conditions can be slightly slow, just get the feel of it. Others, please do it to your best ability, rhythmic, fast, and deep inhalation and exhalation both. Let us start at the count of 3, 3, 2, 1, go. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale.
अकील ये गया रे ये गया कुछ तो हाथ लगा तो
Relax for a few seconds till your breath comes back to normal. Now, what is the advantage of this technique? By doing Bhastrika, it is called as Bhastrika Pranayam. If you do this on a regular basis, the advantage will be that your awareness, that means गुस्सा आने से पहले आपको एहसास हो जाएगा कि मुझे गुस्सा आने वाला है या मुझे गुस्सा आ रहा है. That is the advantage. Your awareness increases, and secondly, your energy level increases. So my focus right now on taking this pranayam was that I want you to be attentive for the rest of the webinar. So that is you can use this technique any important meeting that you are going to be there. You want your 100% to be there in the meeting. Do this Bhastrika pranayam and you will find a difference. So let us proceed. There are other techniques also, which we will be taking couple of them during the webinar itself. It is called as single nostril breathing, but at a later stage I will take Chandravedna. That is through the left nostril you breathe when you want sound sleep. You know, quality of sleep matters. That time we will take this. And the second one is Surya Vedna. If you want to improve on your digestion, you breathe only through the right nostril, keeping your left closed. So both these we will take at a later stage slightly. Now let us dive into the main course. That is the first mindset. The first mindset is happiness is a choice. Now let me share with you. All of us have gone through this phase. When we are kids, माँ बाप बच्चों को कोई तोहफा देते हैं या खिलौना लाके देते हैं, whatever it is, मिठाई लाके देते हैं, और हम बच्चों को, हम भी खुद as parents we have done it also. As children we have seen our parents do it. We give something to the child and we say go जाइए मौज कीजिए, या बच्चे खुश हो जाते हैं. उसके बाद when the child goes to school, you expect that good grades, teacher will be happy, parents will be happy, the child will be happy. As the child grows up, then it goes further into getting good grades in the qualifying examinations like board exams, then landing into your dream job, and the list just keeps going on. That means at every stage in life, it has been impressed upon our minds that happiness is related to the blueprint of our expectations meeting with reality. हम सबके दिमाग में ये ब्लूप्रिंट बसी हुई है कि किस बात से हमको खुशी मिलती है, और अगर बात उस ब्लूप्रिंट के मुताबिक होती है तो हम खुश हो जाते हैं, and in case things do not go, they upset us. So today what we are going to do is we are going to change this mindset. Now you think of those times, you know, the intangibles. मौसम की पहली बारिश, मिट्टी की सौंधी खुशबू, या गुलाबों के बाग में हम चले जाए और बहुत सारे अच्छे खिले हुए फूल नजर आए. या think of the dream holiday that you've had, and just that picture is captured in your mind. Whenever you go back to that picture, it brings you happiness. So that means happiness can also be achieved from the intangibles. Today we are going to change our mindset. What we are going to do is we will tell ourselves, I am going to be happy come what may. It is not the situation that is external is going to decide my state of mind. My state of emotion will be always happy. I will deal with every situation. Whatever is happening in the outer world. The inner state will remain fixed and happy. So with this mindset, let us proceed. Now, I deserve to be happy at all times and shall remain, come what may. Marianne Williamson says, you must learn a new way to think before you can master a new way to be. That means I want to be happy all the time. So I have to think differently. अब तक मैं जो सोचते आ रहा हूँ या आ रही हूँ, इसको बदलना पड़ेगा, ताकि जो मेरी प्रेजेंट इमोशन स्टेट, हम बाहर की बातों से खुश या नाराज होते हैं, तो ये हमें अगर बदलना है तो हमें अपनी सोच बदलनी होगी. और ये किस तरीके से हो सकता है? We have just seen that our emotional health and our mental health are related. I have given you examples of that. What we will do is we will use the SOS technique. Now, what is this technique? जहाज जब समंदर में जाते हैं, when ships are in distress, what they do is they give us out SOS messages which mean save our souls. So we are going to use this SOS technique to change our emotional status or our mental status. हमारा mindset जो है हमें अगर बदलना है. Now what does SOS stand for? S stands for stop. यानी the moment, पहले तो आपको ब्रीदिंग करना है, उससे अवेयरनेस बढ़ेगा. अवेयरनेस से यू विल नो दैट यू आर मूविंग फ्रॉम पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग या हैप्पी स्टेट ऑफ माइंड इनटू नेगेटिव. ये एहसास होने लगेगा. जब वो चेंज इज हैपनिंग, यू विल बी मोर अवेयर, एंड द मोमेंट यू आर अवेयर, यू स्टॉप. सो यू स्टॉप द नेगेटिव थॉट और द नेगेटिव फीलिंग. यू ऑब्जर्व. That means you try to explore कि क्या चीज है जो मुझे अपसेट कर रही है, किस बात से मैं डिस्टर्ब हो रहा हूँ या हो रही हूँ. And the third letter, that is S again, stands for switch. So I will switch the negative thought or negative feeling by, I told you the intangibles. So you have these happy moments in your mind which are captured. You bring on, you replace the sad one with the happy one and use this as a technique. The more you use, the more you will become master. So this is the first mindset, that happiness is a choice, and no matter what the situation outside is, I will remain happy and my happiness is in my control. Easier said than done, right? So we go back. How do we deal with it? Look at this picture and do write down in the chat box. What do you see in this image? Please write down in the chat box. क्या नजर आ रहा है आपको इस पिक्चर में? This is a painting by a Turkish painter, Nazim Hikmat. So please share with me what you see. I'm waiting for your response. Yes. What do you see in the picture? No answers?
Yes, the answers are coming. Check it out in the chess box.
It's an adjustment.
Okay, I'll just stop sharing. Right.
Yeah, it's an adjustment.
Yeah, I can see. Yes, now I can see. Great. All are sleeping happily. There is satisfaction regardless of the situation. Family blissfully sleeping. Be happy in whatever you have. Sleeping in peace. So we go back to the picture. Now, I'm happy that everybody has stated positive things. Only one of you have said, in spite of the situation. So can you be clear about what the situation is? Nobody has complained about the size of the bed, right? So no negative thinking. That's a positive sign. So there are 8 people who are there on the bed, and they are all cuddled up. There is a peaceful and happy expression on every face. Nobody has, they are not affected or bothered by the leaking roof that is there. There is also place for 2 pets on the bed itself, and there are more pets in the room, the 2 birds on the windowsill and the rooster. So this is a picture of happiness. So does it mean that happiness means my sufferings have all ended? My dear, no. Happiness is not the absence of suffering, but it is the acceptance of suffering. That means मुश्किलें आएगी और उनके साथ मुझे जूझना है, लेकिन my state of mind will remain happy. I will face all situation and circumstances with a happy state of mind. I will find dealing with the situation much easy. I will see things that are good around me in every situation. In every situation, there is always a positive side. So you train your mind to look at it accordingly. And third, stop worrying about the things on which you have no control. In all our lives, there are certain things that are within our control, and there are things that are not within our control. So let us focus on things that are within our control and proceed in life. You will find that you are a much happier person. That brings to the second mindset, which is self-care is not equal to selfishness. Now, before we go into this again, I would like to share with you, if I tell you that there are three things. First is the self, second is family, and third is work. Since most of you, I'm told, are businessmen here, how do you rate on a scale 1 to 3? What comes first? Please write down in the chat box, write in the order of your preference.
Family.
That is whether self comes, family, or work, or any other obligations you may have.
Self, family, work.
Self, family, work. And what do the others say? Please.
Work, family, self.
Work, family,
Yes,
self, self, family,
Family will
work.
take care of you.
Great. Some more responses, I'm waiting.
So, work, family, and self. This is
Work.
Zorian.
Zoria, welcome. Yes, others? Family, work, self, work, family, self. There are a couple of you who have written self, family, work. I really hope that you are able to maintain this order all the time. I would be very happy if that is happening. See, it's
We'll
very
try.
Ladies should
important.
participate. There are a few ladies who are not participating. Come on, ladies.
Okay, I'll wait for a few more minutes. Ladies, please let me know your
Work, family, self.
order of preference. Self, family, work. How does it go?
Family, work, and self.
Family, work, and self.
Oh.
Family, work. I can see some ladies nodding. Family, work, and self. My dear, let me share with you that the self is the seed. The family is the tree. And work and your other obligations are leaves, flowers, and fruits. If you just focus on the tree or the flowers and the fruits, but you forget to nurture the seed, it is a matter of time and the tree will wither. It will stop bearing the fruits. So if you have written work as your priority, you need to make a self-check. Why? Because you are not giving the time to yourself that is needed for self-care. And it is a matter of maybe few years or months that you will realize that your health is suffering or your family is suffering. Family generally tends to be in between because you try to balance between work and family. So family does not totally get neglected. Family tends to stay in between. Unless you have very good support system where you can depend on others to take care of your family, then it's different. You can afford to put family last. But self-care is an important aspect. And what do I mean by self-care? There are 4 important parts that you need to see. So if you nurture the seed, then it is an ecological process. You will have a solid trunk and the tree is definitely going to bear the flowers and the fruits. And there will be new seasons, there will be new opportunities for work. If you miss out on some, it does not matter. There will be new and further opportunities. But if you neglect the seed and it takes an impact on your health and it has a long lasting repercussion, it is very difficult for you to regain. So the self-care is important. And what do I mean by self-care? The first aspect of self-care is self-control. Now, could be many of us here who have got some sort of medical condition, and some certain foods are restricted for us. But if we go for a dawat or a party, are we able to control ourselves? Maybe you have a condition, say diabetes, and sweet things are not allowed. So can you keep your hands away from the sweet? Can you take smaller portions of food that is forbidden? There may be other kind of conditions. It does not matter. There could be addictions. Some of us have addictions that we cannot curtail. We know, we are aware that is affecting our health badly. But do I have the self-control to say no to such things? So that is the first part of self-care. You have to be your own best judge, and you have to know when to say no. Second part of self-care is the discipline. Now, what I mean by discipline is that are you able to give some time to yourself? Now, many of you will say that I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm working till midnight. Where is the time to take self-care, or where is the time to do anything else? My dear, we all have a way of unwinding. And many of us find the simplest thing is to sit in front of the TV. Maybe 70% of the time. And that is what statistics says. People are watching things that they are neither interested in or they are not attentive about. Another thing that takes our time, social media, FaceTime, WhatsApp, you name it, all these are there. But are we able to do justice to ourselves? Can we spend a little of that time? You can start with 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night. You start with pranayam, that is the breathing techniques, and meditation. What meditation is, I will share with you shortly. But these are simple things. Are you able to exercise? With passing age, our joints need that physical exercise a little more than what we've been doing. Do you go for those brisk walks, or are you feeling lazy about it? Similarly, at night, are you watching the screen till the moment you drop, or most of the time you fall asleep with the TV on, with or your mobile, your iPad in your hand? Is this the case? If it is, my dear, that means you are lacking self-discipline. You need to control yourself. Your time is your best resource. And if you do not value your time, nobody else will. So use part of this time to take self-care. The third part of self-care is self-love. What I mean by self-love is, there will be times that people will talk bad about you, either in front of you or behind your back. How many times it has happened that you have been ridiculed? Maybe not now as a child, sometimes absent-mindedly in a third person, and that thought creeps in your mind that यार तू तो ऐसी ही है, या तुम तो ऐसे ही हो, इसीलिए लोग ऐसी बातें करते. So this means that we talk negatively about ourselves to ourselves. Self-love means always be positive in your mind about yourself. We all have our shortcomings, but look at the positivity in you, bring out the best in you, and see how you can change or curtail the negativity, that, and always talk positive with love to yourself. The internal talk is the most important communication that we have with ourselves. And the last is self-belief. Whenever a challenge is thrown at us, how many times do we doubt ourselves? यार मैं कर पाऊंगा क्या? ये मुझसे हो पाएगा? Am I capable of this? So these are the doubts that bother us. At such times, what you need to do, simple technique again, just write down 3 of your best achievements. And I'm sure in all our lives, there are many things that we have achieved. So make a list of these 3 and read these out to yourself aloud and tell yourself that ये अगर मैं कर सकती हूँ या कर सकता हूँ, तो definitely I can attempt this and give it my best shot. आगे अल्लाह की मर्जी. So with this mindset, this will be self-care, self-control, discipline, self-love, and self-belief. If you do this, give time to yourself, even if it means cutting out from your family time or from your work time, it is worth it because you are nurturing the seed. And increase this time to at least half an hour in the morning and half an hour at night. The next thing which I told you, which I will share with you, is meditation. Now, many of you may feel, यार ये meditation वगैरह ना मेरे से तो नहीं होगा, ये जिनसे होता है वो करे, या it is ये पिछले generation वाली बातें हैं, यार कौन दिमाग लगाता है इसको. Meditation means ये मेरे बस की बात नहीं. So my dear, for this I will tell you a very simple thing. All of us have appeared for exams at some point in time. On some point in life, we have written exams. What is exams? When you write your paper, you just shut the whole world out and you focus on writing the exam. जो कुछ हमने पढ़ा है या नहीं भी पढ़ा है, तो जो कुछ दिमाग में उस टॉपिक के बारे में है, you focus and you write. Meditation is all that. Just remember these 6 words. बोलो मत, हिलो मत, and सोचो मत. Now हिलो मत ठीक है, हम बैठ सकते हैं. बोलो मत ये भी ठीक है कुछ देर, पर सोचो मत ये बड़ी मुश्किल वाली बात है. Why? Because there is a monkey mind inside, and the moment you say सोचो मत, 1000 ख्याल आते हैं, and then the mind tends to waver. So what we need to do, small demonstration again. All you have to do is focus on one point. When I say we will start, you will close your eyes and you can focus only on your breath. So internally with the eyes closed, look at the tip of your nose, inhale and exhale, just your normal breathing. Focus on your breathing. That is all you will do. Please, again, as I said, no pain, no gain. So go ahead. अगर नहीं भी किया है पहले, कोशिश करके देखिए, जरूर फायदा होगा. So let us close our eyes. Inhale and exhale. I will not give you the command. You will do it yourself. For 1 minute, all of us will focus on our breath, looking at the tip of your nose. Any thought comes, don't fight with it. Just let it be. Bring back the focus on your breath. Slowly, gently open your eyes. Anybody would like to share the experience? Well, अब इसके बाद आप ये नहीं कह सकते कि हमने कभी meditation किया नहीं है. 30 seconds, 1 minute क्यों ना हो, आपने जरूर किया है. Yes, Mr. Mohammed Salim, would you like to share something? You can unmute yourself, or I request the host to please.
Yeah, felt the tranquility.
You felt tranquility. Yes, my dear. This meditation, the advantage of meditation is, हमारी दिमाग में हम बहुत सारा कचरा जमा करके रखते हैं. There is a lot of thoughts that are absolutely useless or worthless, which we tend to keep in our mind. And if we want to clean, like we have bath every day in the morning, why do we do that? To physically clean ourselves. We also need to clean ourselves mentally. And this cleaning happens through meditation. And believe me, it is tried and tested. And I'm talking out of self-experience that if you do pranayam and meditation on a regular basis, you will increase self-awareness with pranayam, and with meditation, you will be able to, bahar se jab koi trigger aata hai, so what we do is we respond or we react. हमारा जो response होता है, that depends on our ability to think in the gap between the stimulus, that means the trigger when it comes, and the reaction or response when it goes out. Between the two, there is a fraction of millisecond. To be able to think correctly in that gap or to find the gap, that you will be able to achieve by constant meditation. It cleans the crap from your mind and it makes you aware to be able to respond instead of react. So that is the advantage of meditation, my dear. And it will become a part of your self-care routine. Do it on a regular basis. You will see the benefit. So just a quick recap: self-love means positive self-talk. Be nice to yourself in the mind. And another technique that I would like to share to you for positive self-talk. Have you heard this song? Lamborghini chalai janiyo, Lamborghini chalai janiyo, Janu vi chutta de do, kitte kalle kalle jai janiyo. What we will do is, whenever we have this dilemma, we will just replace the Lamborghini by BMW. What we will sing is BMW chalai janiyo, where B stands for body, M stands for mind, and W is the word. So between the body and the mind, the word, that is the self-talk. So we will use the BMW and always make positive self-talk with ourselves. So whenever a negative thought tends to creep in, bring the BMW in front of your eyes and replace the negative by the positive. Self-belief, I just told you, list 3 of your achievements and remind yourself that yes, you can do it. And my dear, all of you are hardcore businessmen here and maybe spending most of your time in taking care of things both at home or outside home. Even when you are at home, you are thinking about your work and how you will deal with certain situations that crop up, because they say that business is a 24/7 employment. If you spend some time working on yourself, you will find that you do much better in your business. So invest some time and some energy of yourself in yourself and then see the results in your work. With that, we move to the third mindset, that is, have I charged my battery? Now, how many of you, yes, I think all of us, that goes without saying, if someday we wake up in the morning and about to leave and our phone battery is not charged, how upset we are. And we give top priority. The first thing you go when you reach your workplace is plug in your batteries. Or most of us have that as a routine. Every night we make sure that our phones are plugged in so that the battery is fully charged to face the next day. But do we take similar care of ourselves? Do we charge our own batteries? Now, why do we need to charge our batteries? The thing is that whenever a negative thing happens, and let me give you an example again. Say you stamp into a puddle, चिकड़, कहीं रास्ते पे हम चले जा रहे हैं और कीचड़, तो पैर कीचड़ में पड़ने से कुछ ना कुछ छींटे तो जरूर हमारे कपड़ों पे आते ही है. And we value the impression that it will create or the outfit that we are wearing, and we make sure कि वो दाग या धब्बे जल्द से जल्द निकल जाए. इसी तरीके से कॉन्शियसली और अनकॉन्शियसली जब हम कोई नेगेटिव बात सुनते हैं या किसी को क्रिटिसाइज करते हैं तो उसके कुछ छींटे हमारे अंग पे जरूर आते हैं. And as a result of this, what we do is we get emotionally infected. And unless we take care of that, it depletes that battery which I told you in the starting. Every time a negative incident occurs in front of our eyes, we talk negative about somebody, somebody talks negative. That means we indulge in gossip, the battery depletes, and that is called as emotional infection. So unless we have this daily dose, that negativity which tends to sit on our mind will not get cleaned and not cleared. It needs to be handled daily. For that, we need to take a daily dose. Now, this is an acronym. शॉर्ट फॉर्म किया गया है. दवाई का डोज होता है, उस पर से ये वर्ड डोज लिया हुआ है. Where D, the body has a certain chemical reaction that takes place. जब हम खुश होते हैं, the brain, it really gives some signal. There are some neurotransmitters and happy hormones are secreted. एक अलग तरीके के juices secrete होते हैं जिससे हमको खुशी का एहसास होता है. तो अगर ये एहसास हम लाना चाहे तो उसके कोई और तरीके भी है, ये तरीके हम समझ लेते हैं. So the first is dopamine, and dopamine is secreted when you reward yourself. So if you give yourself a task कि आज मैं ये काम कर लूंगा या कर लूंगी, it can be a simple thing, small task से सवेरे वॉक के लिए चले जाएंगे, या काम से ही ले लो कि ये प्रोजेक्ट है तो ये वाला काम आज सारे ऑर्डर्स प्लेस हो जाने चाहिए. दैट कैन बी योर टास्क फॉर द डे. एनी टास्क दैट यू set for yourself in the morning, once you accomplish that, celebrate. And when you celebrate, the celebration can be very small. आप कुछ आइसक्रीम मंगा लो, घर वालों के साथ बांट लो, आपके कलीग्स के साथ बांट लो. Buy yourself that t-shirt or the shoes that you promised when you are able to exercise. अपनी favorite restaurant में चले जाओ. You set yourself a goal कि मैं in the next 6 months I'm going to reduce 5 kgs, 10 kgs, whatever your goal is. The first 1 kg, go and treat yourself, but mindful. Favorite restaurant चले गए तो ऐसा नहीं कि 1 किलो कम किया, celebrate करते वक्त 2 किलो gain कर लिया. So you are your best judge. Just be sure that whatever celebration you do is not overindulging, but make it a point to reward yourself. It will make you happy. So that is the D. The second O stands for oxytocin. ये नाम वगैरह याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं, आप सिर्फ यही याद रख लीजिए कि मुझे करना क्या है. So first is celebrate every milestone. Second जो है वो oxytocin is released by creating connections. हमारे में तो ये तरीका ही है, कोविड नहीं था तब तक तो हम सबके गले मिलते थे. That was a normal way of greeting. That is, have got a very deep mindset that it creates positivity, it creates in your mind, it releases oxytocin, which is again a happy hormone. तो आप घर वालों से गले मिल लीजिए, ऑफिस जाने से पहले या ऑफिस आने के बाद बच्चों के साथ खेल लीजिए. Some people have pets, you can spend time with your pets. Another simple way which can be practiced even in COVID is appreciating others. अगर हम किसी की तारीफ कर लेते हैं तो सामने वाला बंदा तो जरूर खुश होता है. साथ में जैसे इतर या गुलाब पानी छिड़कने से कुछ छींटे हमारे पर आते हैं, उसी तरीके से अगर आप किसी को अप्रिशिएट कर लेते हो तो थोड़ी खुशी खुद को भी होती ही है. Make it a mindset and do it as a regular practice. So first is reward yourself. Second is appreciate others or hug, create connections. The third is serotonin. Now these are mood enhancers. हम सब की कोई ना कोई हॉबी हुआ करती थी. अगर अब प्रैक्टिस नहीं कर रहे हो तो प्लीज मेक टाइम फॉर योरसेल्फ. हफ्ते में एक बार ही क्यों नहीं, देयर इज सम गेम व्हिच यू प्लेड, मे बी फुटबॉल है, क्रिकेट है, जो कुछ भी है जो हम स्कूल कॉलेज में छोड़ चुके हैं. Join some club where you can play these games just for the fun of it. Make your own groups. If you had some hobby, और कुछ नहीं तो आप मेडिटेशन ही कर लीजिए. मेडिटेशन से भी सेरोटोनिन रिलीज होता है. एंड अ वेरी सिंपल वे, यू नो, अब जब पहली बार ये करने की कोशिश करेंगे, देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी कि द माइंड विल से कि नहीं नहीं, ये मेरे बस की बात नहीं है, आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड, ये सब बकवास है. वो वेबिनार में बोला वो ठीक था, लेकिन ये सब प्रैक्टिकल बातें नहीं. सो जस्ट डू दिस वन थिंग, आस्क योरसेल्फ, इज इट ट्रू? फिर अगली बार जब ये सोच आए कि यार कुछ करना चाहिए, फिर मन कहेगा नहीं नहीं ये बकवास है. Again ask yourself, is it really true? Keep on asking, keep on repeating yourself, is it true, is it really true? जब भी मन ना कहे तो don't take no for an answer. Keep repeating this question, is it true, is it really true, is it really true? And sometimes somewhere the mind will say maybe, यार करके देखना चाहिए, हरकत नहीं, सिंपल है, ठीक है, ये नहीं तो वो करके देख लेते हैं. And that is the time when you should do it. So this is a proven, scientifically proven technique. Psychologists and psychiatrists have tried this technique and it works. So please give it a chance. And the last hormone is endorphin. Remove all the negative emotions. Negativity will always be there in life, and a simple way of negative emotions, that laugh a lot, nurture and pursue some hobby, singing, dancing, painting. I think I have given you enough things to charge your battery on a regular basis. Let's move on to the next mindset, that is let go of the past. Now let me share with you a story. हम सबकी आदत होती है कि कोई बात जो गड़े मुर्दे उखाड़ के, बस हम बीती बातों को, स्पेशली अगर वो नेगेटिव बात है, हम छोड़ना नहीं चाहते, हम उसे पकड़ के बैठे रहते. Let me share with you this story. There were two monks and a prostitute, and they wanted to cross a river. Now, the two monks, they knew to swim, but the prostitute, she was not knowing how to swim. So she approaches the monks and she requests, can you please help me cross the river? I cannot swim. The first monk looks at her and he says, no, monks are not supposed to touch women. The second monk, he lifts the prostitute up and together they cross the river. When they reach the other side, the other bank, he puts the prostitute down and she goes her way. The two monks continue on their journey and they nearly walk for an hour. They're about to reach the monastery. The first monk says, आज आपने जो किया वो ठीक नहीं. Monks are not supposed to touch women, and I am going to report this incident. The second monk replies, हाँ, बात तो आपने सही कही. We are not supposed to touch women. But I left her an hour ago. Why are you still carrying her? So, my dear, it is exactly this. We tend to cling on to the negative thought. 40 साल पहले मेरे भाई ने ऐसा बोला था. जब मैं शादी करके इस घर में आई, मेरी सास ने ये कहा था मुझसे. We just cling on to the negativity and we do not give place for positive things to take place. So, my dear, it is very important to let go of the past. It is for your own self. You know, they say forget and forgive. Forgetting is not within your control. Let the physical memory remain. Just get rid of the emotional burden that the memory has attached. You will feel much lighter and more in control. Now, how do we deal with it? There are three ways. Human beings are of three, they can be classified into three categories. So accordingly, there are emotional people, there are analytical people, and there are spiritual people. The emotional people, they have to discharge. That means from the heart, they have to let go. The analytical people have to let go from the mind. That means dispute. पुरानी याद अगर सताती है, नेगेटिविटी आती है, तो just fight it. Say ठीक है, बीते गड़े मुर्दे को नहीं उखाड़ेंगे. Just let them go. And spiritual, download. Take help of the Almighty and pray, and it will help you get rid of your past. Get back to the present. There is a very simple technique of get back to the present. Just, this, आपने कई बार सुना होगा कि they ask you count up to 10 and that helps you to forget your state of mind and come back to the present. Now what here you have to do is, you can make a note of this. Think of 3 things that you can see, 2 things that you can smell, 4 things that you can feel, and 1 thing that you can taste. The moment you think of these 10 things, whatever it was in the past that you were dwelling on, you will forget, you will come back to the present. So just make this a technique and it will work for you. Remember that everything and everyone in life has a limited lifespan. It is up to you how you deal with it. Because if you cry that the sun has gone out of your life, your tears will prevent you from seeing the stars. सूरज की रोशनी खो जाने पर अगर हम रोते रहे, तो धुंधली आंखों से हम तारों की रोशनी में जो देख सकते हैं वो भी नहीं देख पाएंगे. So it is very important that you let go of the past. There is another NLP technique. There are deeper hurts that you need to let go. Maybe some other time I will take this technique. It is important to let things keep flowing, because what you hold back from life, life will hold back from you. So if you are not willing to give love and share and care just because of some past grudges or past experiences, you will find that these things are withheld from you, and what goes around comes around. So if you behave badly, bad behavior is going to come back to you in some form or the other. And it is best interest that you let go of the past. As I told you, is we will go through the NLP technique at some other point. Now let us see the 5th mindset, that is, take the first step and make things happen. Once you are able to get off the past, what you will do is all your energies and your time will be able to focus on achieving bigger and better goals that you have set for yourself. Your mind will be clearer to think of more happier things to achieve. You don't know where and when to start? My dear, the time is here and now. And how? Let me share with you again another story. There was a farmer. He had 3 donkeys and 2 ropes. He had been toiling in the desert, in the farm the whole day. It was close to sunset and he wanted to rest in the farm. So what he did, he thought of tying the donkeys. Now there were 2 trees at the 2 ends of the farm. What he did, he took the 2 ropes and tied the 2 donkeys to 1 tree. And the 3rd donkey, he took to the 2nd tree. Imaginary, he just did the action of tying the donkey and he left them there. And the next morning, he came back to find all the 3 donkeys exactly as he had left them. So my dear, what does this tell us? It tells that we all have tied ourselves with these invisible ropes. There are different types of invisible ropes that tie us down. Physical dependence. Again, this is a type of invisible rope. We need to break these shackles if we have to progress in life. Physical can be, can you imagine when you were sick at some point in time and you were dependent on somebody to give you a glass of water, or maybe even make you karvat lena bhi aap kisi ke mohtaj the. That kind of situation is physical dependence. As you grow up, you learn to take care of things. As you grow healthy, the physical dependence reduces. Similarly, financial dependence. When you were kids, you depended on pocket money to take care of your needs. as you grew financially independent, you don't have to ask for money. That is financial. Social dependence, सबसे बड़ा रोग, क्या कहेंगे लोग? How many of us tie ourselves with this shackle कि लोग क्या कहेंगे? और इस वजह से हम कोई नई चीज या नया अनुभव लेते नहीं या झिझकते हैं, डर लगता है. And the last but not the least is the emotional dependence. Emotional dependence is you depend on everybody for your happiness. घर वाले अगर मुझे मेरी जो हरकत है उसको अप्रूव करते हैं तो मैं खुश होऊंगा या होंगी, या काम पर जाते हैं तो my boss should approve of me. So everywhere you are dependent, your happiness is dependent on how other people will react or respond to the situation. My dear, if that is the case, it means that you are emotionally dependent, and this shackle, if you do not break, then this invisible rope will tie you down. If you want to progress in life and realize your dreams, you will have to break all these shackles. Be it workout or start a new diet, write a book, make a movie, build a house. Just nurture your hobby, whatever it is. Paint, sing, dance. Put some mobile app together. Just take the first step and make things happen. It is said you need to feed the same thing 16 times before the mind registers it as an irrevocable memory, so that nobody can change your mind about it. 16 times you need to repeat that positive. So write down positive statements which are called as affirmations, and this will strengthen your belief in yourself, in your ability to achieve whatever your goal is. Stop laziness and procrastination. Start right now and initiate the action. The worst thing that can happen to you, my dear, is not taking control of the force that controls your life. Why is it so? Even the most accomplished Olympic athletes, when they say that they have achieved their target, how come in the next Olympics they better their own records? It is because when you think you have done your best, statistic proves that you have only used at the most 40% of your inherent potential. What you see here is the tip of the iceberg. That is what the potential that we generally use. The potential that remains unused or untapped in your entire life is what you see submerged here. That is the hidden potential. That is your capacity to do things which only you know, and a positive mindset will help you to accomplish it. So with this, I would like to take a pause. This is the phase 1 of sharing of the mindsets, and inshallah next Friday same time we will be taking the second half, that is the remaining 5 mindset. I'm sharing with you my website address and my personal phone number. Any questions relating to this webinar, please feel free. If I cannot answer all of them now, send to me on my personal chat on this number, WhatsApp, or you can send it to the MCCI forum, and I will assure that these are suitably answered. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Shala, it was a great session, and you are an absolute teacher. And as I was sitting through your lecture, I really felt that if I were your student, I would really be myself. I would not be as naughty as I told you in the beginning.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I thank.
But absolute, mashallah, you are really a great born teacher, and you did it very well. And we look forward to meeting you the next week. And I'm sure there are a few questions, so we have time before we go off.
Sure, definitely.
If there are questions,
Definitely.
please unmute yourself and ask.
Hello. Hello.
Boliye.
Yes, sir.
Yes. See, ma'am, you really spoke very well.
Thank you,
और
sir.
तीन टॉपिक पे आपने बात किया जो मैं उसको एनालाइज कर सकता हूँ. पहला है तकवा. आई थिंक फर्स्ट टॉपिक आप जो करी थी सेल्फ कंट्रोल के बाद में, उसको हम तकवा बोल सकते हैं.
जी,
सेकेंड इज मेडिटेशन, दैट इज जिक्र, कल्ब से जिक्र करो, दैट इज अ मेडिटेशन पार्ट हम जो प्रैक्टिस करते हैं. और थर्ड, जो बुराई से बचो, जो गीबत से बचो,
अरे दादा,
इज द थर्ड क्वेश्चन. आई थिंक ये 3 टॉपिक पे आपने बहुत अच्छा बोला.
थैंक यू सर.
और मैं आपको एक रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि हमारे
जी.
अभी ये इस पर बशीर अंसारी साहब है.
जी,
Yes, I want him to be on the screen and speak few words. A very senior man. He was my coach. So I would love to see him on the screen. Let him ask him to unmute his video and just say few words. It's my request.
Yeah, I would also love to have him on.
Bashir Ansari Saab.
sir, if I may say so, Bashir Ahmad Ansari sir, mere ससुर है, my father-in-law. I am fortunate to be his daughter-in-law and अब्बा ये वेबिनार सुन तो जरूर रहे हैं, उनकी तबीयत थोड़ी नासाज है. I am not sure whether he will be able to come on screen,
That's
but I
all right.
will
खाली स्क्रीन पे आने को बोलो, उनको सलाम करना है बस, और कुछ नहीं.
जी जरूर. The thing is, अब्बा अभी कैंप के घर पे है, where I am not. I am
अच्छा.
so I will not
बस
be
he
able
was-
to unmute him,
बस
but
हाँ.
I can request my husband Suhail Ansari to speak on his behalf. Please.
Yes.
Unmute yourself first. Sohail bhai, unmute yourself first.
Assalamualaikum.
Allah.
Walaikum assalam.
It's very nice to see that people still are, remembering my father and Bashir Ansari sir. I will convey your salam duas to him, and I'm sure.
Yes.
Inshallah, next time I will see that how he can come on screen for you.
Yes, we would have loved to see him on the screen. A very nice man. See, I am talking about 50 years back, that is in 70s.
Ji.
Anybody else who wants to ask a question, please go ahead. Moin bhai. Moinuddin Marki. Very actively involving in Muslim chamber. Unmute yourself first, please. Unmute कीजिए, Moinuddin bhai. Yeah, go
Thank
on.
you very much for calling me to ask some questions, but this is my first this one conference attending, inshallah. But it was very good. It was very
Yes,
good.
yes, definitely.
जो भी उन्होंने बताई हैं, वे ब्रेन वाइन हो गया. ये सब चीजें आ रही थी दिमाग में जब वो उन्होंने बताया था टेक ब्रीथ एंड कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन योर नोज, तो मुझे तो एक सेकंड भी ऐसा नहीं लग रहा था कि मैं सांस ले रहा हूँ. और सब बाहर की बातें आ रही थी, बाहर की बातें. पैसा लेना है, पैसा देना है, उसको मिलना है. But
To everyone else who is asking about the recording, we have recorded this session and it will be on our Muslim Chamber YouTube shortly, today night or tomorrow early morning. We are recording the session.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Anybody else who wants to ask a
Inshallah,
question?
Inshallah, from tomorrow, I will try to do at least once in a day.
Thank you, sir.
Concentration. Thank you.
Great. It's very nice to know that.
Anybody else? Go ahead. There are a lot of questions if you want to ask. There is a lot of things to learn.
Hi, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdul. I would like you to repeat the thing that you were saying earlier. Think of 3 things that we can see, 2 things that you can smell, 4 things. Could you please?
4 things that you can feel. Feel. हमारी 5 सेंसेस है. हम देख सकते हैं, हम सूंघ सकते हैं, हम सुन सकते हैं, हम महसूस कर सकते हैं by touch. So 4 things that you can feel and 1 thing that you can taste. हम स्वाद ले सकते. So you can taste your saliva. All these things are within your control no matter where you are. ये 10 चीजें आप कर सकते हो. उससे you will come back immediately into the present. It is a very powerful way of leaving the past or whatever thoughts that your mind is drifting. You come back to the present.
We request all those guests who are here to please join our Muslim Chamber of Commerce. And of course, we have requested Rashida to form a women's team for us, and she's promised
Inshallah.
us that she will
Inshallah.
form a women's wing of the Muslim Chamber of Commerce, because we believe that the women are more powerful and more dedicated than the men. So let us give them an opportunity to come forward and lead us. So you are welcome, ma'am, to do that.
Thank you,
I
sir.
think there is the
Inshallah.
last question. We have time for one more question and then we go off, because anybody else who wants to talk can please go ahead, or we meet her again on next Friday, same time at 7:30 in the webinar of the Muslim Chamber of Commerce and Industries. And as you have the number of Anis Bhai Patel on the screen, you can join the Muslim Chamber of Commerce by calling or messaging Anis Bhai. And please take up the membership of the Muslim Chamber of Commerce and Industries. We need your knowledge. We need your experience. We need guest speakers, if you are one, and we need you to bring the community together. Allah हम सबको साथ रखे. दुआ कीजिए कि अल्लाह ताला मुस्लिम चेंबर्स को आगे आगे बढ़ाते रहे.
Ameen.
Ameen. Ameen.
I thank Muslim Chamber of Commerce, specifically Nisar sir and Javed.
You can call me Nishar because I'm a Rotarian and we are allowed to call each other by the first name.
Javed Bhai also, who introduced me to MCCI.
Yeah, Javed Bhai, I'm
grateful to
sorry
him.
I didn't mention his name. Javed Bhai was
Yes.
very, very kind of you. It's a very good session. And I'm very grateful, and I request all other members to get such speakers. And if you are a speaker yourself, please come ahead and give us a message. We are ready to listen to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So with that, I think we say Allah Hafiz to everybody.
Allah Hafiz and Shabba Khair.
Allah Hafiz.
Dua mein yaar. Nice talking to you, Suhail.
Dua mein
I believe you are a Vincentian. I passed out in 75. We'll meet sometime and it will be a long chat with us.
Thank you.